r/AskReddit by Redmond Dts. What's the dumbest reason you weren't hired for a job? About a year ago, there was an opening for a general manager position with a Ford dealership that I had some interest in. I interviewed with the owner and an unknown member of management. I say unknown because the owner didn't actually have a title for this individual, which was not a good sign to begin with. When interviewing, probably 20-25 minutes in, the owner of this dealership asked me if I have ever done cocaine before, which is very specific, you know. I replied with a no, although it was a yes, but he doesn't know that. He specifically says, "You look like someone that I've bought cocaine from before." I responded as, "Well, I've never sold cocaine before, so I don't know what to tell you." Long story short, he told me that he wouldn't hire a druggie, which I responded, "Well, I'm not a druggie. But even if I was, that's kind of odd. I mean, you just admitted to doing cocaine, right?" Asked me to leave his property immediately. What a freaking idiot though. I moved my legs too much during the 4-hour, no break, panel interview. I didn't know 5 different types of grains. This was a job bagging groceries. Overqualified. Translates to you are too old. I have a pumpkin tattoo, Tim Burton style, and apparently that means I'm either one of those Wiccans or a Satanist. I wasn't hired because the manager was afraid I was his replacement. Well, were you? Nope, the guy was paranoid. I was hired by a different manager who years later told me why I wasn't hired by the other guy. I'm happy with where I landed, no regrets whatsoever. Because I'm a woman and I was applying for a software developer job, after, of course, getting my master's degree in computer engineering. They asked multiple times why I was interested in this field. I proceeded to give them a detailed answer explaining that I've been interested in this field basically since I was 9 or 10 years old and I had just got my first real computer, but they just looked at me skeptically all the time and commented that it was atypical for a girl my age. Needless to say, I was never contacted back after the interview. Saw a job that I was the walking speck of. Turns out they didn't mention the management responsibilities weren't listed and not even the recruiter knew. Didn't get it. Cool. 3 months later the recruiter calls me and says they've asked if I'm free to chat again as they've decided the management experience wasn't an issue. Didn't get it. Didn't have management experience. Recruiter was livid. I was annoyed. I wasn't Asian. I was applying to be executive chef at a Asian Jewish restaurant called Chow Goldstein. I know Jewish food inside and out and I'm an excellent cook of all things Asian. I was never invited to interview and it soon went out of business because Asians don't know crap about Jewish food and it was really bad. The person who did the pre-screening didn't like my beard. Unfortunately they told another employee that. Unfortunately that other employee was my cousin, who complained to HR. Got a phone call apologizing and asking if I'd like to come see what a nice company they were and give them a second chance. Ended up working there 5 years. The lady was a total bitch the whole time. I mean, it was very rude of her, but they pretty much hired me out of embarrassment, so it kind of worked out. I wore a suit. I passed every technical interview. The round with the CIO was the only non-technical round. He walks in, looks me up and down and says, "Aren't you overdressed?" I laugh nervously and reply, "Well, best to err on the side of caution." To which he replied, "You really erred." Then he proceeded to dismissively throw my resume back across the table. When looking for my first job, I asked about the salary. They said they don't want people who only work for money and instead want people who are passionate about sales. Went to an interview and was asked if I smoke cigarettes. I said yes and they said, "We don't need employees taking breaks every 30 minutes. Have a good day." To be fair, we don't hire people who smoke for that same reason. We've had too many people in the past take way too many breaks, then blow up when told they can't smoke because they have to help out. I was 5 minutes late to the interview. Why? The clock on their plaza was off by 10 minutes. I was watching that and entered 5 minutes before. If you can't be on time, I don't think this is a good fit. How that clock by your sign said it's 3. That is never correct. He proceeded with the interview through gritted teeth. It was for a position serving coffee. I'm glad I dodged that bullet. If you have no chill about a misunderstanding, I can't imagine you would have much compassion in things that matter. I was a boy. When I was 14 I applied at the local Dairy Queen because a classmate was working there. I was told they only hire as young as 14 if they were girls. Because girls are more mature at that age. I'm just shocked people ever hear the reason why. Most employers just ghost you or give a form letter saying they went another direction. This is for HR related reasons. Technically if you are told why you were not hired, we might accidentally, in the best case, say something that would make us liable to sue. As a blanket policy, it's easier to make it so no feedback is provided at all. That's all folks. Thank you for watching. Have a nice evening.